Hello and welcome to today's live stream where we're going to be going over how to use HappyFashion foil vinyl. So for some of you, this might be a completely new idea if you're used to using our HappyFlex vinyls, flocked vinyls or glitter vinyls. Maybe you've played around with our HappyFashion HTV, but these are a little bit different in the way that they work and the effect that they produce. So today I'm going to be demonstrating them for you and talking a little bit about the process. I've got my HappyPress 4, so this is an A3 size with auto open. It's also available in pink and turquoise, like all of our HappyPresses. So I'm going to be using this to demonstrate, although you can apply this type of vinyl, like all of our other HTVs, with an iron or a heat press. Okay. So to start with today, what is HappyFashion foil vinyl? What does it look like? So I've got a whole basket of colours here. We've actually got 26 different colours on the website, and they're all a little bit different. They are very, very special effect. So we've got, hopefully you can see this and it will do it justice on the camera. So one of the ones I'm going to be using today is this lovely scale effect, almost like a mermaid tail. It's got a really lovely rainbow shimmer. So you've got that one, and then you've got all sorts of different colours, so pinks, greens, golds, you've got like holographic silver, you've also got, this one's quite fun, so this is leopard print, I don't know if you can see that properly, and then you've got rainbow, which is quite similar to like our rainbow multi HTV, and then you've just got loads, so you've got rose gold, all sorts of colours, 26 different ones to choose from on the website. So the vinyl themselves are completely different feeling to our other HTVs. So they're very, very thin foils. So you can hear it rustling around. It's even thinner than tin foil. So it's very wavy. And you buy these, they come in 1 meter as the smallest size. And you will need to purchase them as well, because of the way they work, with this. So this is HappyFlex Magic Melt, and it's a transparent vinyl. It works in the same way as HappyFlex, but this is what you would cut your design into. So just like normal HTV, you'd cut your design into this, you'd mirror the design because it's going to go shiny side up on your t-shirt, whatever it is. Apply it the same as HappyFlex, so at 150 degrees for 10 seconds. Peel away the carrier sheet, and that's going to leave you with a tacky kind of finish. And that's where the foils come in. So you don't cut the foils themselves. You just cut a section large enough to cover your design that you've cut in this. Lay it over. Apply it like you would HappyFashion, so at 165 degrees for 15 seconds. And then peel away the foil, and it will only have applied to your design on this. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, don't worry, because I'm going to demonstrate them for you. Like I said, it seems like a really difficult process until you've tried it, and it is so much fun. Something a little bit different as well, to add kind of a metallic finish or a really special effect to clothing, bags, anything you can apply up to 165 degrees of heat to. So I actually cut out some Magic Melt earlier for the purpose of the demonstration. So I used a silhouette cameo, but you can also cut this vinyl using a Cricut. You can use a Brother Scan and Cut. I cut it with scissors the other day to do some tests. So the same as any other vinyl, you just cut it out. And then I weeded it. So these are some of the designs we've got today. So it says Out of This World, got lots of stars and moon shapes on there. So what I did for this is I used our new weeding tools, so they're LED weeders, to weed it, because it's very hard to see the designs when the vinyl itself is transparent. So this was an absolute lifesaver. So if you haven't already seen these are LED weeding tools that are available on our website. So definitely check those out, because for projects like this, it saved me so much time. I could see all the lines immediately, and it really helped to weed this type of vinyl. So this is the HappyFlex Magic Melt. So this is the vinyl we'll be using to cut our design into, and then the foils will go on top of that at the end to create the special effect. So I'll put that there. Get rid of some of these foils. So today I'm going to use the pink, and I'm also going to use the lovely scaly one. Just take that off. Okay, again, so the magic melt and the foils come in a metre size rather than A4 as the smallest. So you get lots to play with. So let's go for a bit of a demonstration. So I thought a black t-shirt would probably be the best to show you the foil effect. So just a normal plain black t-shirt. And again, I'm using the HappyPress 4. Just got a lovely slide out drawer. And then I'm just going to pop it on. So this is a really important part of any vinyl application, that you give everything a quick pre-press. So if you're using an iron or handheld press like a Cricut, make sure you give a t-shirt or whatever you're pressing onto a quick iron, quick pre-press, just to make sure there's no moisture or creases. So this is the auto open press as well. So don't really need to keep as much of an eye on it. It's so easy to use. And we'll just wait. Here it comes. Okay, so probably need a little bit more pressure on there. And then we're going to apply this first. So this, again, is our Happy Flex Magic Melt. So this applies exactly the same as Happy Flex. When you order vinyl from us, it's also on the website to download as well. You get a DIY sheet with all of the instructions to cut and apply the different types of vinyl. So it's on here, Happy Flex Magic Melt. It's got the cutting settings for the silhouette machine that I used earlier. And it's also got 150 degrees for 5 to 10 seconds. And it's a warm peel. So give that another quick pre-press and check my pressure's right for the auto open. So when you adjust the pressure on a HappyPress 4, you only want to adjust it by like 1/4 of a turn, because it's only that much between high pressure and low pressure. So just pop it up a little bit more. Been pressing all sorts of things this morning, so you do need to adjust it between projects to make sure it's got the right amount of pressure. Okay, so I'm going to flat my t-shirt, and then this is going to be what I'm applying first. So I grab a pair of scissors. I'm going to cut out, let's go for some stars first. It does feel stickier than normal vinyls, I have to say, this Magic Melt, which makes sense because of what its purpose is. Put that on. And then pop it on. Okay, and then I'm going to get some release paper. So we do also sell this on the Happy Fabric website. You can also use greaseproof paper from your kitchen as well. Pop that under, and this is just to protect the vinyl and the heat plate. And then we're going to give that 10 seconds under the HappyPress. So again, for those people that might have just joined, this is Happy Flex Magic Melt, and this is the first step to applying foil vinyls. There we go, we've got the perfect pressure now that the vinyl and the release paper are in the mix. And pull that out. So this is a warm peel, so we don't necessarily want this to be absolutely burning hot, just to keep your fingers from touching what was just under 150 degrees of heat. So we'll let that cool down ever so slightly, and then we'll peel off the carrier sheet as with normal HTV, and it's going to leave us a really tacky finish, which is what the foil is going to adhere to. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to choose a colour. So I'm going to go for pink first. And then I just want to cut a section to cover the part of my design that I want to be pink. So what's quite fun, if you've got more than one colour of foil, or if you want your design to be extra creative, you can only cover parts of the design, and you can make it maybe multicoloured with the foils. So let's peel off the carrier sheet here. So you can actually see how sticky the surface is. I'm going to hold it up just to show you. So, I don't know if the camera's doing it justice. You can kind of see there that it's got that kind of tacky surface on it. So I'm going to pop that back under. And then this is HappyFashion foil, and it's really handy because the printing instructions are almost in the name. So HappyFlex Magic Melt applies at the same temperature as HappyFlex vinyl, and then HappyFashion foils apply at the same temperature as HappyFashion HTV. So I'm going to pop the press up to 165. Another handy thing about these presses is you can change the temperature to the exact what you need, and then I can change the timer as well to 15 seconds and pop it back. So what I think I'm going to do is, so when you put the foil down, you want this side to be down, so the colour you want is facing upwards. And I think I'm going to do maybe do these three in pink. And then I'm going to cut some silver as well and do one of the big stars in silver. I really like this one. This one's really kind of mermaidy. Doesn't really do it justice on the camera, but it's got almost like tiny scales and they're like holographic rainbow. So that's going to look really cool. So I'm going to place them there where I want them. Like I said, so it doesn't matter how roughly cut your shape is as long as it covers the Magic Melt design underneath. And then I'm going to cover that with my release paper. So we're nearly at the right temperature now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my writing out ready for the next bit we want to press. So on the website, Happy Fabric website, you'll need the two different components. So the first one being that HappyFlex Magic Melt. So that's £3.82 for a whole metre. And then for any of the HappyFashion foils, also a metre, it's £2.90 per metre. So like I said, you can have a lot of fun with these. They're going to last you quite a long time. So you can see I'm doing some stars. I've only cut a very small amount of the metre. So let's check the press. So we're up to the right temperature. I'm going to pop that underneath and then give it the 15 seconds that it needs. Should probably do a little bit of tidying up as well. Look at the mess I've made as usual. Goes. Lovely. Pull that out. Then I'm just going to refer back to my DIY sheet that I mentioned. So this is a cold peel, so we've got to let that cool down a little bit before revealing the design. Oh, that's exciting. I can actually see the star shapes underneath the foil. This is my favourite bit, peeling it off, so it is really hard when you have to wait for it to cool down a little bit. So I'm going to take it off the press, away from the heat a little bit, just so that it cool down a little bit quicker. So like I said, there are 26 different colour foils to play with on the website. I really want to try the leopard print one. I think that's quite fun, but I do think this is going to be really cool to add to your projects around the new Disney launch of The Little Mermaid, because the scale one that I'm using, let me see if I can show you again, comes out any clearer. It's got like holographic, but when you look up really close, it's got scales. So I have actually got a mermaid tail that I've cut out. I'll see if I can get that done during the live session today. But it's really, really cool. Okay, so this has cooled down now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to peel away the foil. And all it's done, so it's not the only part that's left the foil is the part that's come into contact with the Magic Melt underneath. I love this. So you can see it's done it for the pink as well. Hold it up so that you can properly see. Oh, that's so cool. So look at that. That is pretty cool, isn't it? Look at the way it's hitting the light. So we've got two different designs there. It's like magic. Like there was nothing, to the naked eye, there was nothing on this t-shirt. And now, oh, look at that. That is pretty cool. So that is how the foils work. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to pre-press the t-shirt again. And then I'm going to put, what should I put on next? This is so much fun. I don't think I want to do the text. Maybe some more stars. So there's different things you can do with the foils as well. I'll show you in just a second how to get kind of this distressed vintage kind of look. Actually, let's do the moon. That's quite a nice big shape, isn't it? So if you do have any questions, please do leave them in the comments and I will go through them just after the demonstration. So there's my moon. Under. So we only need 10 seconds for this. So I'll take the timer down. Okay. This is what I love about the auto open press. If you are busy or you're working from home, you've got children around, you've got pets around, it just doesn't matter. It just does it all by itself. Again, same process. So I'm going to let that cool to the touch a tiny bit just because I don't want to burn my fingers off, but it is a warm peel, so you can peel this straight away. So there we go. You can see it's really kind of tacky on the top to stick to that foil. And then, oh, what colour do I want to do? So if I go for pink, I said these sell by the metre, so you have quite a lot of material to play with, so you can make quite a lot of different projects. So we kind of scrunch this up to give it that sort of vintagey look. And then under. Again, this is what's so good about having a heat press. You can just move between settings so easily, and the machine just does all of the work. So pop that back under. And then we'll give that 15 seconds for the foil. So what you can use as well, I talked about in the last live stream, is you have got this thermo tape. So you can stick your design down so that it doesn't move at all. And you're happy with the placement. Especially with an auto open press, when it springs back up, you saw the release paper just kind of came up with it. So if you want to keep your design in place, if you're like me and you tend to nudge things with your hands, if it's really delicate and intricate design, this is also a lifesaver. So we've got some really helpful accessories, including that weeding tool I showed you earlier. So draw out. So give that a second to cool down, but you can see already the kind of lines from where I've scrunched it have really taken. So this would be really fun for kind of merchandise or something that you wanted to make a little bit vintage, special effects. It's such a cool, I think I'm going to foil everything. It looks really lovely on black as well. So that scale effect, the way it's hitting the light, I'll show you in a second, just all sorts of different rainbow colours coming out of that. I think that would be similar to what you see with the lovely holographic one that we've got over there. It's very similar to the Spectrum HappyFashion HTV that we do. So HappyFashion and HappyFashion foil, very similar, slightly different effects. Obviously the foil's a lot thinner, more kind of metallic-y. So that's cooled quite quickly. Here we go. Ooh. I forgot it wasn't a star. I was wondering why I couldn't see any edges. Ooh, so that's given it a really nice vintage effect. So like I said, especially for something like merchandise, maybe you can actually see the difference very well on the camera. It's kind of got that like kind of cracked looking effect. That's so much fun. It feels as well, it's like, it feels very smooth, but it's in the fabric, so it's not raised at all. So kind of almost similar to Happy Flex actually, but you can't feel the texture too much. So I don't think it would irritate you if you put it all over clothing. That's so much fun. So you've got the scale effect here and just the normal pink. So we do that again in 26 different colors. So in theory, you could have 26 different shiny effects on one t-shirt. So to recap on the process, you can also apply using an iron or even a mini press. If you do that, just make sure that you are not wiggling your iron around when you're applying the vinyls. You want to hold firmly down in place for the right amount of time. Can't stress that enough. That will stop your vinyl from peeling around the edges. There's a lot of misinformation online about how to apply vinyl with an iron. Some brands tell you to wiggle it around. Absolutely not. You want to almost emulate a heat press. So you want to hold it down firmly in place to make sure you've got that time, temperature, and pressure. Okay, so this is so exciting. So again, these foils and the Magic Melt are both sold by the metre. And then again, that's £2.90 for a metre of HappyFashion foil, and it's £3.82 for a metre of the Magic Melt. So a great price as well for the amount of times you get to play with it. Let me just see if we've got any questions in the comments. Sorry for disappearing. First question is, what is the press? So the press that I'm using today, this is the HappyPress 4. This is A3 Auto Open. So I've used the A3 Auto Open today, not only because I love it, but we've also got a promotion on right now. So if you buy an Auto Open press from us in A3 or A4, as soon as you add it to your basket, you'll also get a free vinyl bundle added in there. So it's a really good time to buy one. So the other features it's got adjustable pressure, it's got adjustable time and temperature as well. It's got a lovely pull-out drawer to keep your hands away from the heat. You can thread t-shirts on it. It's lovely in this A3 size as well because you can just get so much under it. So love the press. Also comes in pink and turquoise as well, so you really can choose. Okay. Can you do it without the melt? So the HappyFlex Magic Melt, you cannot do the foils without that because it's what the foils will adhere to. So you do need to get both, definitely remember to get both. But like I said, it's a really simple process. So you would cut the HappyFlex Magic Melt, all the cutting instructions are on the website and the sheet you receive with your order, so you'll know exactly what cuttings to use and how to apply it as well. It applies exactly the same as HappyFlex, and then the foils apply over the top of that as well. So I don't have a Cricut. Can I still use them? Absolutely yes. So I did cut my designs today using our Silhouette Cameo machine. And I just wanted that kind of more polished look and more to play with. But you can literally just cut them with scissors. So let me find a piece for you. So what you can do, you could use a stencil if you wanted, or you can just freehand cut. This is quite a fun kind of project to freehand cut with. So for example, I always end up cutting a heart or a flower. I'm in a flower and heart mood recently. So for example, you could cut with scissors. That absolutely does work. Please ignore my terrible cutting skills. And then again, you just need to look for which way was shiny side up, so you don't cut anything backwards. And then you just pop it on, release paper on top, exactly the same as you would had you cut it using a Cricut or another machine. And then we'll give that some time to auto open, and it's exactly the same process. So you would apply that same as HappyFlex, wait for it to come up, make sure you peel that carrier sheet off, the shiny sheet off, otherwise it's got no sticky surface for the foil to adhere to. And then we'll use, this is so much fun to play with. I'm so glad I did this demo. You're going to see a lot more HappyFashion foil coming to your feed soon because I've kind of got the bug for it now. Okay, so again, with the foils as well, you want to keep that, the side up that you want to see. Okay, and then cover that. And then it's just 15 more seconds for the process. So yeah, absolutely, you don't have to have a Cricut in order to use these. So why would I use an auto open? So in terms of the press, like I said, this HappyPress is an auto open. So as you just saw, you don't need to add this. You don't need to add anything to the process at all. It takes all of the effort away for you. You don't have to do anything. You pop it under, press it down, and it's good to go. All you've got to remember to do is adjust the pressure. So 1 minute you could be doing a hoodie, for example, and the next you might be doing like a thin t-shirt or a tote bag, but it might be slightly different thickness. So make sure you adjust the pressure so that it's got enough to kind of spring back open. But I absolutely love the auto open. I can't remember how I lived without it, to be honest, especially if I'm working on 2 things at once. So I can talk to you guys, or I can prepare my next project, and then it will just open itself for me. So I haven't listened to my own advice. I've just realised what I've not done here is I've not actually taken off the carrier sheet from the Magic Melt, which is ironic because I was telling you just a second ago not to forget. So remove that carrier sheet from the Magic Melt before you apply your foil. 100% don't forget, like I just did. But it does happen. So it hasn't actually affected the material at all, which is great. So I'm just going to take my bit of foil again and pop it over as if nothing happened. So let's pop you back under. And now we're going to give it 15 seconds to actually apply. So I'm just going to check if there's any more questions. So do you just put the t-shirt underneath it? So underneath the press, yes, you do. You can also thread the t-shirt if you wanted to. I'll show you that in just a second. So I'll let that cool down a little bit. If I got another t-shirt, I can show you it. Yes. So in terms of threading a t-shirt, so there's many ways that you can put a t-shirt under a HappyPress. So you could, like I just did, pop it under like that. You can also open the t-shirt up. You can thread it on to the drawer as well so that it stretches it out kind of a little bit so that you've got nice smooth surface for your design. So there are a few ways, but yeah, essentially, so apply vinyl. See, this has got foils on it as well. Apply vinyl, literally just pop whatever it is under your heat press. It's got this nice kind of slightly, ever so slightly wobbling heat plate as well, which means that when it goes down over something, it can even out the pressure so that you've got that nice even heat. So I'll bring my foil t-shirt back just to show you before we go. Finished design. This is so satisfying. I think this might be my new favorite vinyl, specifically this little scale one. So watch out for me using that all of the time. Look at that. It's almost got like a mirror to it. This would be perfect for festival season as well, actually, thinking about it. Look at that. Bum bags, bucket hats, t-shirts. Perfect. Even wonder if we do this on shoes. I might try this on shoes next. This is really, really cute. Okay, so that is how to use, quick demonstration, HappyFashion foil vinyl. Let me just get that question off the screen for you. Lovely. And we have one more question, sorry. Do you have to keep previous foil covered when applying a new section of foil? So what I've done when I was applying the other foils, I just popped release paper over the top because the more times you press it, it doesn't really seem to have affected the vinyl at all. It stayed the same, but I just like to, as best practice, always cover everything, especially when it's freshly pressed and it hasn't got that carrier sheet on it anymore. It hasn't affected it at all. It still looks just as good as ever. Yeah, it looks perfect. So I would recommend, yes, I would pop the release paper back on top if you're pressing more stuff onto the same t-shirt. Normal wash rules will apply as well. That is also written on your lovely DIY sheet when you order from us. So you've got all of your washing machine instructions as well. So wash it inside out for the first time, that sort of thing. Also leave the vinyl for at least 24 hours just to make sure the adhesive is really in the material before you give it its first wash. And then having been applied properly, this vinyl will outlast the garment. So it very much will stay on there. So Thank you so much for coming to this live session today. If you do have any more questions, please give us a message. You can email us at sales@happyfabric.co.uk. You can message us on social media Monday to Thursday, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But until then, happy crafting. I'm going to leave the link to the HappyFashion foil and HappyFlex Magic Melt in the comment section as well. Definitely check out our heat press offer and our accessories as well, and have fun crafting. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week for another live session.